Hey, 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 and welcome back to Temple Training. If we haven't met yet, I am Andrea Johnson, and I help Christian women over 45 manage menopause. We rebuild our faith in this space and in this season, and we learn to move and nourish our bodies so that we actually enjoy this season of life. And I'm super excited to bring this topic to you today. It is talking about breaking free from fear, or at least to stop letting fear control your health and wellness journey. Fear is one of the biggest roadblocks that holds us back. Fear of failure, fear of not being good enough, fear of what if I try and I just can't keep up with it. I've heard these statements time and time again as new women come into my sphere and they are attempting to try the next program or even describing how they felt coming out of a previous program. And to be perfectly transparent, I know because I've actually battled with this as well. Recently, in my own spiritual journey, I've been working out some things in my own space, in my own mind, in my own walk. And I realized how often fear whispers to us. And this was one of the things that, you kind of know, but you don't really address it until you are ready to address it. Things that used to come to mind were things like you're not good enough, you're not doing enough. If you can't do it perfectly, then why try? Like, just forget the whole thing. What if you fail and fail miserably in front of everybody? Like, these are just some of the thoughts that would kind of ruminate in my head as I approached tasks for business or tasks for other areas of my life. The impact really resonates in other areas of our lives. Maybe in how you treat your body, you just say, I'm going to give up trying to eat nourishing foods or foods that are so called healthy because it's just not working for me. It might show up in how consistent you are with your workouts. If you forget or if you miss a day, then you give up on the whole week or the whole month or even the whole year. It even shows up in the types of foods that we consume. Maybe we ride with our emotions for one meal and then you throw out the entire day and go ahead and order the pizza. These lies don't just live in our head. But the truth that always is available to us, and this is the task that I've been working on as some of these lies come to surface for me as I'm walking throughout my day. I always have to ask myself, is it the lie that's talking? And if so, what is the actual truth? So here is the truth. The truth is, God has not given us the spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. That's 2 Timothy 1 and 7. And when we walk in that truth, fear will loose or lose its grip. So today, I want to share with you 3 steps that I personally am practicing right now to help me to break free from the fear. The first step is awareness. We want to recognize the lie that's resonating in our head, that's taking up space in our minds. So, this might require you to pause and notice when fear shows up. When you're about to take that next step and something is blocking you, I would describe this as like a wall that I'm trying to get through when I'm trying to accomplish something. It's when you're about to start a new healthy routine, when you're going to walk into something maybe you have not walked in before, when you're trying to set boundaries so that you can protect your space and take care of yourself. Even when you want to just rest your body, feelings of guilt might come up. But naming the lie is the first step in breaking it. So, step one, recognizing the lie. Step two, replacing it. I've talked about this before when it comes to replacing that negative loop, like reframing it. And this is exactly the next approach, or this is the next step that we have to take when we discover the lie. We have to speak the truth over that lie. We have to ask ourselves, is what we're saying the truth, or what is the truth in this moment? So when fear tells me that I can't do things perfectly, so don't bother, I say out loud, that is a lie. I don't need it to be perfect. I just need to be consistent in this moment. And God honors my small steps. We've heard that story in the Bible time and time again, where it doesn't take a lot with God, right? He can take 2 fish and 5 loaves of bread and feed the multitude. He will be able to take your next step, whether small or great, to get you to that end goal. He has a purpose, and his purpose will prevail. So that's step 2, replacing that lie. Step 3, take a small step of faith. And I think this is key because it allows us to really recognize in the action. I've heard it said before that clarity comes in the doing. So when we recognize a lie, what is the next step that we can take that brings clarity around the truth? Galatians 6:9 tells us to not grow weary in doing good, for in the proper time we will reap a harvest if we don't give up. So this could look like the very next day, getting in that workout, no matter how small. Maybe that for you is getting outside for 20 minutes and walking the block. Maybe for you, it's after consuming that cookie, making sure the very next bite, that very next meal is in alignment with your health and wellness goals. Maybe it is turning over whatever that burden is to God in prayer. It really matters what that next step is, and that you take it, whether it is small, a small step of faith, or if it's a larger step. What we're doing here is we're defeating the big fears, those big lies that tend to show up in our space. So, what am I saying here? If fear has been holding you back from your health, from your healthy habits, or even from taking that next step into what God has called you to, you are not alone. Like I said at the beginning of this, like I said, it resonates with me because I've been here before. I've heard it from clients time and time again. So this week, I want you to write down one lie fear is telling you, and then replace that with one scripture that is truth. And if you want accountability, share it with me either in the comments below or meet me over in our temple training community page. We're going to be talking about this very topic here in the next week. Fear doesn't get the final word. Do not allow fear to have that final word. God has already given you power, love, and a sound mind, and that is all you need. That is enough to take the next step today. If this video encouraged you, subscribe and share it with a friend who needs to hear this in this moment. And if you want to go deeper, the links below will take you to my free community page and coaching resources where we're going to walk this thing out together. I told you I'm on this journey as well, and I look forward to walking it out with you. Make it a great day.